mention energy and environmental issues as well. And all these are related in a sense. I have a tendency to talk about these as if they were stovepipes, unrelated to each other. But clearly the energy issues, environmental issues are directly related as well here. And there are a lot of you around here who care about this. Look, we all agree on the goals. I think everyone has admitted here that we'd be far better off if we were more independent of energy resources from the Persian Gulf and elsewhere. We recognize there's a great gain to be made in setting back the greenhouse effects in the country, the world rather, as well as the global warming issues. That we can get off the fossil fuels and get to the alternative fuels and alternative technologies that can be developed. We understand from a health perspective, who understands it better than New Hampshire, given the rates of asthma you have in this state. Many bear a direct correlation to the use of coal and utilities to provide power for the state. Not to mention the international issues that are affected by dependence on fossil fuels around the globe, and obviously economic issues as well. Where's the manufacturing sector going to emerge? In places like New Hampshire and Connecticut, in places that have seen the economy change over the years, and wondering if there's some new opportunities that can emerge. So all across the spectrum, energy and environmental issues, I think, offer some wonderful opportunities. Can you imagine a better gift that we could give my daughters, your children and grandchildren, than to give them an energy policy that made us more independent, free of the kind of polluting effects that are causing so much damage, creating jobs in our country, and offering the United States the ability to offer others around the world the opportunity to provide an energy source without depending upon us. This to be our greatest gift. About the goals. Now, how do you do this? And let me just say a couple of things that I'm an advocate of, because I'm a great believer at this time in our lives we can't have half measures and quibbling or trying to please everybody. There's nothing worse in politics than trying to make every constituency happy. You end up making no one happy in my business, as I see it as a result. So I'm an advocate of a 50 mile per gallon standard for our automobiles by the year 2017. Now, don't anyone in this room tell me it can't be done. My wife wants to point out to me that in 1984 she bought a CRX that got 43 miles to the gallon. That's 23 years ago. Yeah. So don't tell me today that Detroit can't produce an automobile and insist that one is far more fuel efficient than the ones we're getting. In fact, I'd argue we may save the automobile industry if in fact we do that. But you've got to have leadership in the country that doesn't take no for an answer. That insists upon developing the technologies that will allow us to move more aggressively. That alone would save a tremendous amount of our environmental problems if we just would move aggressively in that direction. The second issue is more difficult, and I understand that, particularly in a state like yours, which has a historic reaction to some of these questions. And believe me, I've tried to come up with 1,000 different answers on how we can deal with the issue of getting off fossil fuels to our alternative technologies. And as long as the price of a barrel of oil stays at $70 a barrel, we do a pretty good job. We can compete on that level. You drop that price, $10, $15, $20, $30 a barrel, and the technologies that are coming on are not economically competitive. We all know that, in a sense. So price is the barrier. It's not a question of people not wanting to move to cleaner technologies and cleaner fuels. If the price is a major barrier for people. People who are not here today, who couldn't afford even to come to an event like this at all, are out there doing the best they can to hold their bodies and families together. And so they opt for the less expensive option in most cases. Not because they don't realize that there's better food or there's cheaper or cleaner fuels to be used, but because they can't afford to do it. So price is going to be a major problem for us. How do we deal with it? If you're unwilling to deal with the price problem, then you're not being honest and mind you're serious about global warming and environmental issues and moving to energy independence. And that is, I think we need a corporate carbon tax. We need to tax the pollutants that occur here. I'll tell you it's not inexpensive to do it. Based on the people we've dealt with and talked with here, it would be about 10 cents a gallon. Would raise about $50 billion a year. And that's not inexpensive. What I do with the $50 billion is that we make a fast-track program to move these technologies along much more rapidly so they become available much more quickly for people. Secondly, provide the tax breaks for people who would like to make those options where there still is a bit of a price differential. So we utilize those resources to actually assist in the process of getting to these technologies more quickly. But I'll also tell you very quickly that as $50 billion is not inexpensive, consider what we're paying today on an annual basis. Roughly $300 billion a year to buy fossil fuels offshore. Roughly 60 to 100 billion of it goes to countries that are very hostile to our interests. In fact, some of the ones who are subsidizing the people we're fighting today in Iraq and Afghanistan are the ones that we're also paying money to on an annual basis. Now I ask you the simple question. Would you rather pay $50 billion to become energy independent quickly, or continue paying $100 billion or $300 billion to countries who don't necessarily care about our future? I'll take the $50 billion for the corporate carbon tax. Let's become energy independent. Let's deal with corporate, or rather the pollutant effects of these other technologies that we're wasting so much money on. Let's get to the program of having a very serious energy policy that actually does what I think can be done. That's the greatest gift we can give.